My fellow citizens, our democracy is under threat.
And this is the kind of kicksy thing that's happening that will never ever put dent into the crime. Because most of the police involved in that crime. You understand?
So the commissioner, this is a man of integrity, and this is you. This is a man we can be proud of, and this is you. You cannot stay in your position. So you need to step down. And to the Prime Minister of our country, we are sick and tired of the hide and seek games. You need to address your country. The nation is bleeding. Approximately 6 innocent children died within a span of 2 months under an SOE. And yet still we cannot hear from you, Madam Prime Minister. I believe that you have potential, but you need to do better.
How are we as a people?
To the DPP, I am asking you to make this make sense. Public distress deserves public accountability.
That's right.
We want to know under what grounds you were able to advise these officers to put out a warrant for Kaya Sili's arrest. To the Forensic Science Center, I am asking you, how did it take 4 months for you to send your report? I don't trust it.
Nobody trusts.
My people, we need to look at pattern recognition. Everybody is saying an innocent person wouldn't run from the police. Well, innocent officers would not murder a surrendering man. Innocent officers would not dodge accountability. Innocent officers wouldn't have let Kaya Sili go home after she was discharged from the hospital. And this is so comical because you're charged on 3 counts of shooting at the police, but where's the ammunition charge? Was she shooting with her pinky finger?
As I'm glad you went there. Right? To the person on social media who's saying that they are PNM nurses and they are UNC nurses, I want to let them know that probably 90% of the nurses is PNM nurses.
I know dispel that notion.
No, don't dispel it. Don't dispel it at all. And I'm going to tell you why. Right? The last time nurses got a pay increase was in 2013.
Correct.
And they got their back pay. They were very boisterous, and they did protest for that raise in salary. Right? That's their last salary increase they got in 2013. That was under the People's Partnership with the same Kamla Persad businesser.
Agreed.
Give them their 2013 just due salary increase.
And brought everything up, yeah.
And give them their back pay.
Correct.
There was the last back pay they ever get.
Correct.
And you know what them nurses did? They went to the polls in 2015 and brought back the PNM. Okay?
I don't want to say all of that.
No, listen to me carefully. I am saying it. You don't have to say it.
Okay.
They went back to the polls and forgot they got a pay increase and forgot they got a back pay and voted for the PNM. Right? Under the 9 years of the PNM, they work on 2013 salary in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. When COVID came, they work double shift, triple shift. They work beyond. They were called out every single day. Nobody could not get no vacation. Nobody could not get no time off. Nobody could not get nothing. Right? They had us to come out and work. Right? And when they finish, instead of being rewarded, right, they get a pan of biscuit from the Alsing, a pan of English cookies for Christmas, and a round of applause. And they did well, or they worked hard after the pandemic. Yeah. That's what they got, and they took it with a smile.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
And then after that, when they were negotiating, call a member, come and tell them 0.001. 0.001. You understand? 4%. They never came out and protest. They never came out and protest. That's what they do. They never did it under the PNM. They eat the biscuit and hush them out and ban the belly. Right? 2022, 2023, 2024, nothing. Up to now, they can't even get the 4% what they were promised. Right? 2025, new government come in. 11 months in. Right? Or they run rackets in the hospital, whereby you all were getting $75 an hour in overtime. When the CPO said it's not supposed to be $75, it's supposed to be $60 for average nurses, and the nurses are working in special units, they were entitled to 75. You know what I do? They put 75 across the board. Right? And all the working pool overtime, right? Getting $75 an hour. Right? And some of them added in hours. And who working pool and overtime? Right? Just come in and lie down in a room and kill the hours fast so they can go home and sleep. Because they're not supposed to be there that day now. Right? And go home with $60,000 and $70,000 when the month come in overtime. When they realize racket running now, they say what? This cannot continue. It costing the taxpayers too much money. We go stop the pool for the meantime until we can rectify and see who was the person who sanctioned giving all this $75 an hour when they're supposed to be getting that at all. All of a sudden, they're bad. All of a sudden, they're out. Or they can protest now. We worry money now. Right? Knowing fully well I could not ask PNM and Rowley for their money. Right?
Yeah.
I cry hogwash. Right? I am saying, if I was the honorable minister in finance minister, it was me, then would have been the last people to get the money.
Oh God.
You understand? And if they don't want, no, I'm being honest here.
I have a whip.
Let me talking here because I don't like hypocrisy. No, I don't like hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Right? And if I don't want to go to work, I go and get some Cuban nurses. Or I will find out which one of them all in Venezuela who come in here and not have some nurses in them come in here and get them work. Understand what I'm saying? Because I don't like hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And that's why I could say this, 90% of them is PNM nurses. Because it said nothing for the last 9 years. You all did not protest, or you all stayed in the dilapidated conditions, all the problems they had in the hospital. Let's stay and face it, even in the pandemic. Or they put all their lives on the line in the pandemic. Right? Going out there for COVID, when the whole country locked down, or they also go to work. Understand what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, they never get no salary increase.
Biscuit.
Or they didn't even get a little incentive to say, all right, hold that 10,000 for their hard work. No. You know what they give all there? A pan of biscuit.
Well, don't forget the sweetie too, huh?
And a round of applause. Job well done. And before they throw that pan of biscuit in William face, they are saying. And so, where's this giving me here? Where's this?
They took it.
They took it.
And they got this.
Yeah, I want to get a round of applause. Right? And they come to talk now, but it's unfair. Or they working for 2013 salary. This government, this prime minister give only that 2013 salary increase. And it's saying, well, let's take it and let's say, gosh, just right, good, job well done, we go vote for them. No.
They vote them out. Okay.
And they get 9 years of nothing. A pan of biscuit and a round of applause. And coming now, you have the audacity to come now after 11 months to say what money. Where do you want to get the money from? Eh? You come, let me say Alakazam, Alakazoo, and pull it out of a hat like a rabbit and get them it.
Apparently.
Same thing with the teachers.
Oh God.
Same thing with the teachers.
Oh God.
All of them are PNM.
I'm using the mic.
Yeah, come with your mic. I saying it. No, because upset. They had to be PNM because when you watch for the last 9 years, you wasn't saying nothing.
All right. Call on your live.
I want to make this very short, right? lock up the warrior princess, put she on a high bail, right? And talking about 5 years in prison if she found guilty. And the tall man, or they lock him up as well, who was part of the peace movement. So which mean or they're killing people as well. So it means to say that all you're trying to inject fear into the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So no, it's not to stand up for your rights. So here we're going on. All you remember is a storm that all you create, right? So when this storm is over and all you calm, right? Just remember, people ain't forget what all you do. You understand? As Ian say, you don't forget the water that tried to drown you. So here I'm telling you, they have to pay, and they will, and all the officers who unlawfully charging people and unlawfully killing people and claiming in the name of law they're doing the job, and they are corrupted politicians and all of them will have to pay for the wrongs they're doing and all the corruption they're in. They have to pay. When they feel everything nice and dandy, they're going to pay for it. I am telling you, don't feel like you will continue going on with an election when time come and try to thief up people and think people forget. No, you're going to pay. Remember that. This not going down like this, you know. This Trinidad not taking this like this, you know. Just remember that. If all you feel or you have the powers to inject fear and all this bully, just remember we're not going down like this, you know. Somebody had to pay the consequences for this, you know. This reality are bringing our country to, you know.
I am of the view that the recent comments that are being sensationalized by Member of Parliament for Laventille West, Kareem Marcel, provide our society with an opportunity to open an honest discussion on race and ethnicity matters. Part of the problem has been that most of our conversations about racism in particular have not been honest. Therefore, we have seen a tendency in our society to be quicker to condemn talk that highlights racism, while we ignore actions that demonstrate racism. And so because of this, institutionalized racism has largely gone ignored or remains invisible. But this is an old problem of Trinidad and Tobago going back for over 100 years. The British used a divide and rule social engineering policy for Africans and Indians to see each other as enemies to one another. In 1961, the Calypso monarch, Dogla, won with his song Split Me in Two, one parent African, one parent Indian, and that you should split him in two and send him back to each of the two zones. Again, this is something that runs very deep in our society. But the honesty part of it shows that there is actually racial hatred against African people. A lot of it has been published by our researchers, our sociologists, our historians, writers, but still remains a taboo subject to speak about. And many African politicians have deliberately ignored the truth of this, and in some cases even defended it if it meant them maintaining their political power in office. So let's look again honestly at the situation. The national mobility surveys were conducted in Trinidad and Tobago in the 1990s. And in 1991, one particular report with 3,931 participants surveying Trinidadians and Tobagoans on the issue of interracial mixtures in relationships and marriage. 14.4% of Indians objected to their children marrying non-Africans, or marrying non-Indians, but only 2.8% of Africans objected to their children marrying non-Africans. But when you consolidated the data, the largest objection was 31% of Indians objected to their children marrying Africans. Now, this goes back again historically to a time where the Indian population had double the proportion of men to women, and there was an amplified xenophobia and fear of the sexual attraction of Indian women towards African men. So much so that the word dogla, which is a derogatory term in Hindi Sanskrit, which means bastard child of a prostitute, the Indian community used the word dogla to describe a half African, half Indian child, because they did not consider it to be Indian because of the presence of African blood. As a matter of fact, speak to some of the old people. There was in our society a social culture or a legend where if an Indian woman gave birth to a half African child, she would tell the father that the reason this child came out looking like this was because she saw an African man and was afraid of him or terrified by him, and then the child therefore came out with African features. And that was an explanation for mixed race children in the early 1900s in our society. There's an article that appeared in the Express newspaper May 16, 2005 by Wayne Bowman entitled Dogla Dilemma, which quoted a academic educator, Dr. Elizabeth Rosabelle Susaran, saying, quote, "The Indian community has to decide how to handle the offspring of this significant group. Basically, do we accept them because they're half Indian, or do we reject them because they're half African?" Another article, March 18th, 2015, Express newspaper highlights a board member of the Shagaramas Development Authority, I won't name him here, who on April 12th, 2014 referred to African official individual as a stinking N-word. Highlights a post in one of the rare occasions where the mainstream media dealt with issues like this, September 15, 2013. This individual, a Mr. Leila Darsing, posted in a closed political group about a protest. He said each of us in this group should target 5 people to attend a protest. And he said, my pick would be the niggers. He described them as, he said they're pushy enough, they're gullible enough, and it would not take much to sway them. It would also make the look of our party more balanced. Now, you'll notice that these are educated people. In our community, in the African community, many times if you hear that kind of language, it's based on illiteracy and ignorance. But here you have university scholars and professors, you have executive persons, politicians making these kinds of remarks. And there has been a long track record highlighted by professors and sociologists, people like Professor Selwyn Ryan, Professor Selwyn Cudjoe, Dr. Bridget Brereton, in my own PhD research of a long track record of racism by Indian teachers against African school children. Some of the reports were from Happy Hill Hindu Primary School, the Oropouche Government Primary School, Tunapuna Hindu School, San Fernando Girls Government Primary School, Tranquility Government Secondary School, numerous occasions of Indian teachers telling African children some of the most disgusting and despicable things about their skin color, about their communities, about their parents, about their worthlessness as black people. School teacher in St. Mary's College referring to children as black and stupid, and then correcting herself saying, but once they're black, they're automatically stupid. So that's like an oxymoron. We have endured this consistently, continuously, non-stop. There is a track record of it that seems not to be changing as rapidly as it should be, simply because we have not honestly confronted the problem. So when I see a young man who's a member of parliament speaking in the way that he did, I think to myself, Almighty God, Allah, in the Holy Quran says that Allah hates the utterance of hurtful speech, except in a matter where an individual has been wronged. As a Muslim, we condemn hurtful speech. But worse than the hurtful speech is the action that would have led up to it. And if you ignore the action but condemn the speech, that also makes you a hypocrite. Because if we truly want to solve the problem, we have to solve it at its root, beloved.
Anyway, Follen seeing something wrong here. I find it, the man do something wrong, he talk shit. Yeah, he talk this a disrespectful piece of shit. But usually that is the thing that's come with a hefty fine. You understand? Because we still are allowed, we're supposed to be able to still be able to speak we mind. It's just that we have to know how to speak it. And if it is we do shit like that, we're supposed to get a heavy fine so that we pocket could feel it and we go be like, wait, nah, but watch that, I wasn't with that thing. Usually, violence now is where a fine isn't enough. Because just to make somebody pay all the money and hurt their pocket for violently hurting somebody or killing somebody, that makes sense. You need lock up for some time too. So, and this man going on about 3 months now, it reached a point where it looked more like his wickedness. No matter what anybody could say, it looking more like it's a kind of punishment vibe to say, okay, nah, I'm doing this because me and like what you say. You understand? And I had the power to think it and whatever the case may be. And strangely enough, during the PNM reign, when Rowley was president, the amount of threats Rowley get on his life and his wife's life and his daughter's life and threats of sexual violence, it was many, and we ain't see nobody get locked up for it. And I sure some of the people who make these threats was Indian people. You understand? And yet, how much people you see get victimized? How much of them get victimized? If truly man was a fucking victimizing man, he'd be like, wait nah, you see all them Indian and them that send threat to my wife and me, I would raping my wife and raping my daughter and slitting their throat and thing, lost them in fucking jail. Let them fall off a chair in police custody and end up dead. How much of them, you ain't hear nothing happen to them fucking men who's making all them vulgar violent threats on we prime minister? You understand? But this man can't make no threats on the prime minister life or anything or any violent, vulgar thing like that. He was just disrespectful and stupid with what he was saying, you understand? Disrespectful and stupid and kind of, you know, dotish. And that is how it is, always deal with that. People with common sense watching, and majority of we who thinking normal watching is like, nah, that ain't really line up properly with that, knowing that we know other people do worse things, you understand? We're not playing, we're forgetting during the time or the rain or whatever the case may be when them things was happening. Why so hard? It have to be for a purpose, you understand? And that is what kind of bring me to make this video too. I say, I remember something. To those of you people in this country who might believe in God or Hinduism or any other of the religions, you understand? Whether Muslim or whatever the case may be. Anytime, at least to the people who on the level where you have your belief, yes, but you not sacrificing your child if you hear the pastor or some angel speak to you in some dream. It's like, hey, God say God or Shiva or Hanuman or Allah say sacrifice your child on this night for me, you understand, and you will be taken to heaven. However, for those of you who think like me and be like, what you say? But hold your contact, it's like, I will sacrifice my child or hurt my child to appease my God. For those of you who like me, who they're like, let me go back and sleep, because this nonsense I hear in here. You understand? There is a huge danger in people who in authority and are religiously fanatical. You see, fanatical religious people, very dangerous. You understand? They will hurt and do whatever they have to do and, inconvenience whoever they have to do whatever they have to do just to appease the religion and the gods, because they had that thing they're very passionate about the religion, and nothing bad about being passionate about your religion. But you see people who just be passionate about the religion, like let me just give an example for Jesus, Catholic, for Jesus and God and whatever, Christianity, whatever. People who passionate about that religion and will be speaking about the word of God and love and forgiveness, and at the same time immediately strike you when you disrespect God or piss them off somehow, and they go immediately strike you, and you see the power in them, like they're ready to fucking done you. You have to beware them. You have to beware them, you understand? Because they going to fucking do whatever they have to do to appease their mind when they tell them that their God was disrespected or their religion was disrespected. Or they see them, they had the ones who will take one on the cheek, and they go take one on the next cheek and still walk away. And then they go at the ones who take one on the cheek, and if it is just try to slap them the next time, then they go fucking defend themselves. And then they have those, the fanatical ones who their cheek do how to get touched. The minute they hear or think something that they like, they'll attack you. Alright? You see them kind of people who fanatic for the religion, and it just take a magic man or a seer man from Jerusalem or from India or from whatever country to come and tell them, hey, now the gods and them say you have to do this, or else this go happen. Well, you have to watch your fucking ass, huh? Well, you have to watch your fucking ass, huh? Anytime you have a leader who easily swayed by religion and controlled by the religion and the fucking traditions and the culture and all this thing, or you beware all your fucking self, huh? All it take for them is to see one fucking image, even if it's a hallucination of God or Jesus or Allah or Lord Shiva or Hanuman or whoever. Just need to see it once appear in front of them and say, hey, now, you have to do this, and the people will fight against you, but you have to control them, and whoever have to die for this to go on because the gods say it, because I, Jesus, or I, God, or I, Hanuman, or I, Allah, say that this must be. They're going to do it, huh? Hey, you see religiously fanatical people out there, beware. Anyway, you see again, this real unfair. All you gotta beware, and this very fucking unfair. We gotta be real with that. You understand? All you gotta keep an eye on what's going on here with this. Anything happen to this man, that is it. Anything happen to this man, that is it for UNC. You understand? Because too much of this kind of this bullshit going on, it not making sense, you understand? And it doing too fucking much. Right? Give the man a fine and release the man before something happened to the man, and we looking to blame all for it. Because that's what they will cause there. That man with all it lock up too long, and anything happened to that man, we're going to a majority are we going to watch and see like, well, it had something to do with it. Give the man a fine, charge the man, give the man a fine, and release the man. I know he could pay fine. Release the man.
Here's my problem with this. How they already went to court and faced fines or 5 years in prison when the jet ski operator that killed little Angelica still ain't reaching front the court yet. Still ain't get arrested as far as I know. And little Angelo, what's going on with that case? But this woman and her mother reaching front the court already facing fines or 5 years in prison for protesting. Something not adding up there.
My fellow citizens, our democracy is under threat. I have in my possession Legal Notice number 40 of 2026. And I'm sure you would have heard about this notice, but I want to share it with you because it is so important for your education. And what does this notice say? A person who is participating in a public protest, demonstration shall not be at or within 500 meters of the premises and curtilage of a place specified in the schedule. Why is this important? For all the years, we have been accustomed to Trinidadians and Tobagonians protesting around the Parliament, the Ministry of Finance, and several other buildings. But listen, fellow citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, the Parliament of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Office of the President, the Office of the Prime Minister, the Diplomatic Center, the Office of the Attorney General, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Homeland Security, headquarters of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the headquarters of the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, the headquarters of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Piaco International Airport, the A.N.R. Robinson International Airport, and the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. Now you ask yourselves, why would this government take a decision to ban protests in all of these several areas when we know for years that citizens have been peacefully protesting around these areas? I want to say to you, the public of Trinidad and Tobago, that this government is getting totally out of hand. I want to remind you that we are now under a state of emergency that is due to end in the next 2 weeks. What are your thoughts? Do you believe that this government is going to come again in the Parliament and ask for a further extension? Your democracy, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely under threat. Pay attention. Ask yourself, what does this government have to fear? Why would this government, like a thief in the night, come again and put this before you, this legal notice? Please, I ask you, stay tuned, be careful. Our democracy is under threat.
Tell us why you came out today.
I came out this evening here to promote peace. It have an ongoing war in Trinidad. Mainly Trinidad, certain parts of the Caribbean, mainly Trinidad. This ongoing war is slowly becoming a global war. This war has stretched from Trinidad, go right down the Caribbean islands, right?
Yes, 1 second, please, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm in the interview right now.
Superintendent, I'm here from the Forest Division,
Okay,
right? What's your name, sir?
My name is Nicholas Mutter.
Right.
Right?
Do you have permission to have call together this?
If I have permission?
To make this public speech that you're doing?
No, I'm a protester.
A protester?
Yeah.
You have no permission to protest?
I'm protesting peace.
You're protesting peace?
Yeah, we came to protect peace. We came to protest peace, right? We came to protest peace in Trinidad. And the police is telling us to go from here, go in our car, move from here. We came to protest peace, and they don't want us to protest peace. So which means they want the killing to go on, and on, and on, and on, and on. It don't matter if there's a 5-year-old or a 50-year-old, you are capable of getting bullets in Trinidad and Tobago.
I would like you to desist, please, and...
That's no problem.
Right?
That's no problem, but I'm in the middle of a...
Remove yourself, please, sir.
Okay.
Right? Under this SOE, police are the authority to ask you to remove yourself. Please remove yourself, sir.
But they don't have the authority to put their hands on me.
Sir, no one has put any hand on you, sir.
Correct. No, you don't have no...
Right,
no,
so
no
please...
thing to put hand on me.
Allow him to remove himself, please, sir.
Right.
You're blocking the passage. Right? Hold on the road.
My uncle, one of the richest men in Trinidad. Right?
Out of the roadway, please. And allow him to leave.
They just spit in the
And there's the kind of kicksy thing that's happening that will never ever put dent into the crime. Because most of the police involved in that crime. You understand? Yeah. It will never come to an end. Never, never, never. Until they come like this. They tell your mother, your son doing this, your son doing that. Not my son, not my child. Before you even listen to the facts, it's not your child. Your child do nothing wrong. What is eventually happen? Yeah? The TTPS is going to be embarrassed so bad, more than they're being embarrassed right now, because of officers like them. They're corrupted. You understand? They're corrupted bad. They're corrupted bad.
I have a question I would like to ask. Is it lawful for an officer to drumbeat people, in other words, who might be just having a little time for themselves as a weekend, right? Friday night, after 9 in the night, Friday evening. Obviously across the whole of Trinidad, probably across the globe, you will find people holding a little vibe, drinking, smoking, eating, liming, whatever, breezing, all talking. It's a norm, right? It's a norm. What I'm saying is this. The block, about how much feet away from probably where the school is, right? The block so far or from the school now on a Friday night after 9 in the night, keep this in mind, you know. And then the bar about 2 minutes away from the school. So the block could be about 5 to 10 minutes away from the school, but you have a bar not just on the opposite side of the school, just about a minute or 2 minutes away from the school. You're fucked up and hypocritical, this is and the stinking dirty TTPS and their members. You're fucked up these places. They were telling people, I don't care which government. I don't care who's supporting which government. I don't support any. No longer. You see, after the dishonorable thing the minister did from the UNC party, you come up on a podium, you lie to the people and tell the people, well, you go and do this and do that, and you promise them this and that, and then you come back and you switch up everything. That is dishonor to me. I don't deal with dishonorable people. All you're low and sleazy. And I don't care what your followers and them think either. Right? Them two is dishonorable people. Good. Boom. The bar, which is 2 minutes away from the school, right? The bar full of people. People drinking rum, they're cussing, they're smoking, and they're carrying on. That is 2 minutes from the very same school. But you, this young little nigger police, this piece of old iron that is be wearing on their chest with this uniform, this make these people feel like that is the most untouchable thing. You know what I want to see? I would really love to see somebody with all the gun and the badge and the fucking uniform. Do that on a normal head. Try to do what all it is do in the ghetto. The poor people with all the uniform, without your badge and without your gun. I would love to see all you do that. And let me see how far you go reach. But because you have on this thing called police on your fucking chest, you feel you is the baddest thing in the West. You feel like anywhere you go, your voice must be heard. People must see you. People must fear you and afraid you. So here is your scene and you using. I say, these niggas and coolie, all you keep on employing in all your TTPS. I feel it's better the white man and them just go back as being police and them and done, you know, and put back these niggas in slavery. It's best to do that. Because them ain't making a difference, you know. So here with this nigga, this little short little piece of nigga who everybody watching like he's some big bad wolf. Nobody don't afraid no police. I know about me. I know about the rest of these coward ships in Trinidad. But I for one, I know the law. The problem is all you know the fucking law. That is the issue. Right? So let me go again. Boom! Me answer this man, we sit down, we holding on my little vibes, we talking, we reasoning. Ups come this little officer with his little short self, this little half a man. And watching a big man taking a smoke. Now, where did he say smoking? The piece of weed we were smoking done reach funk, it done reach down to the cigarette, so we smoking the funk. Right? Me notice the person, me notice the man when he come and he stand up there, he stand up there and he watching. So I do some night thing and I raise up to stretch. And when I raise up now, when I look, I see the man stand up there. You seeing me? You seeing me? There's gone like little woman. You seeing me stand up right here? And you're still smoking the weed? Eh? And you ain't out it? Eh? This have a school right there. It have a school right there. Get on like a little bitch. Right? So it's like little bitches they're employing in the fucking TTPS. That's all they could do now. These little women and them with these women making and send them in the service to come out here and get on like a little scandalous whore. Right? And you rate it up yourself. Today's Friday, right? Today's Friday evening, right? Or they come to take a line. Thing. You know what it is? To get locked up Friday night. Thing. And in a cell. And blah, 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 blah. And I watching this little nigga. And in my head is like, the piece of iron that heavy for your shoulders and your chest that you're carrying around is what making you get on so. Your little batch way in front will come to victimize people and abuse their little bit of authority is how you gain on so. You understand? Our next partner of mine who we went to school together, who know the same police, I know if they must have went the same school together after we went junior sec together. Come out and tell him, nah, I'm a virgin, he's a good one. And as he tell him he's a good one, he turn and he walk off and he go on his way. So let me see this. Right? There are police officers, soldiers, living right next to schools. Not too far from schools. And some of these same police and soldiers just be running blocks right in their communities or have certain blocks functioning for them outside their communities or in them same communities. But that doesn't really stick around to make it seem like, you know, it's them conducting the scene. But it's really them. Right? How you could jump be a big man. Right? Because I'm not older than you for one. For sure. Right? A Friday night after 9 in the night. Friday. You coming to try to use as an excuse the school to harass a big man. That is all you seen. Seen it was a Friday night after 9 in the night. And talking about, we know it have a school right there. How these police in Trinidad so fucking retarded, boy. Who does be training these people? I feel it should have an age group for require to recruit officers in the TTPS. I find there should be 30 and over, not 20 something and 18 and 19 and thing. I think there should be from the age of 30 and up. So you go have a more little mature class, more, you know, thinking on a more better level. Because you see these little youths all the pain in the dread. Them driving around the place listening to Rebel 6 and K-Lion, and they're listening to Mavado and Cartel and Skeng, and they're listening to all them little Jamaican artists, and then we saying a set of gun tune. That's where they're pulling up in the Jeep listening to. Trinidad and Tobago government, what all you're telling me is this. All you have all your own rogue element, which is the police and the soldiers, right? And all you just had them there waiting to sick them at people when all you're ready. Them is who do the most of the killing in the black communities and murder in all the black people. They ain't locking up nobody to question, to investigate or nothing. Just busting boy head and then how they just pick them up like a dog at the side of the road and fling them. You know what Trinidad need? You see the day when a Jeep police pull up on a block or pull up in an area in a community and feel like going to grab onto one or two men and advantage them and abuse them. You see the day come When you see about 30, 40, 50 men from that same community, including woman, child, old people and everybody, jump out themselves on them and start to grab onto them and dismantle all you, we go see a big change in this country. This advantage continue to happen because the people don't have one another backs in Trinidad, and all you know that. All you know when all you pull up on a block, everybody just start to mind their own business. Who gone so, nobody this now, nobody back. That is why I don't really lime on block Sante, and that is why I don't lime up too much. Because it's the hypocrisy and the deceitfulness that you could be liming with a man. A police will come on and deal with you wrongfully. And then that whole everybody on that same block, everybody gonna walk away and leave you. But the lineman they with you, you know. You there, the lineman with you. But when that time come, they're gonna walk away and leave you, boy, in your own hot water. People don't defend people in this country. But from the time they start to do that, boy, you're getting fucking tired. Yes, them all your police in this country who be doing all the wrong things, all they getting tired, you know. As I say, the day go come, you know, people then go study no debt again, and they go run into all you. Have a good one. Trust that.
Beautiful, beautiful, and amazing and supportive people of Trinidad and Tobago. Oh my God, thank you so much, you guys. You guy, my guy, I love you so much. So many of you are saying that for Trinidadians, of course. If you are in the building watching, I know Jamaicans are also in the building, you know, so, or any other Caribbean. Thank you so much. So the Trinidadians are saying enough is enough. Most recently, they have been in the streets protesting with anger or in anger because there is something that is happening in Trinidad and Tobago, and you know, there is just a certain feeling of frustration and disappointment, and this feeling is a feeling that many Trinidadians believe their voices are not being heard. Therefore, they are talking and they are saying that anger is really finishing them. Frustration is finishing them to the point that they have taken this anger to the streets, not because they want chaos and not because they want any further division. What they want is just answers, respect, and change. So across the entire Trinidad and Tobago, many people, many Trinidadians are saying that enough is enough. I don't know if you've noticed that of late, but yeah, you should actually follow up on why the Trinidadians of late, they have been in the streets. So many people have come out vocally to air out their grievances, their opinions, and for many Trinidadians, you know, when they come out and air out their grievances and tell the government to listen to them, for them it's not about that moment only. It's not about that issue only. Of late, they've been in the streets protesting against police brutality, and I can tell you, all this is about them being in this particular kind of emotion for so many years. These emotions has been building up for years, you know. Therefore, that will mean when by the time they come to the streets, you know, these emotions, they have had it for so many years. Questions that it has built inside their heart or inside themselves, inside their brain for so many years. So at the same time, this translates to them feeling ignored all those years, and they are saying, oh man, but we have a voice and we do matter, and therefore our concerns must be taken seriously. And you see, in any democratic country, you know, democracy means that people have the freedom to speak without being judged or arrested or all that, you know. So the people of Trinidad and Tobago are saying that their concerns must be taken seriously. And you see, when they feel unheard, when people feel unheard, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, they take these frustrations to the streets, by the way. They take this anger to the streets, by the way. So recently, the streets of Trinidad and Tobago has become a place where citizens express how they feel and what they feel. You will see, I know, so far so good. So far we've seen many of them in the streets holding these signs that passes a message. We have seen families, coming together and, standing up for one thing. We have seen the young people demanding for a better future, if not best future. We have seen the older generation, the millennials, saying that they can no longer stay silent and we need to pass our message loud and clear. And they want for them accountability, transparency, and they want leaders who are in a position to listen to them. So there is so much emotion that has built up for so many years. And I can tell you that behind every person in a crowd, there is a story. And these stories, as much as some could be similar, others are really, really different. I mean, for instance, you can actually find that someone is in the streets because, a mother is worried about the future of her children. Probably a worker in Trinidad and Tobago is struggling with the daily challenges. They want better cost of living. They want, affordable, not just better, affordable. They want lower taxes so that at least they can do business. And sometimes in that just same crowd, there is someone who feels that their country should do better. So these particular people that are in the streets protesting peacefully, they are not just faces in a crowd. These are real people, these are real Trinis, real citizens, and therefore the leadership should do something in order for them to, give them answers to whatever they are questioning. Because you see, public trust is something very, very important. But again, if you talk about being angry, many people are very angry, but their anger comes from the caring part of it, not like they're hungry, they want bad things. No, it means that, when someone is angry that something is not doing better, it means they really do care about Trinidad and Tobago, and they really do care about their communities, about their village, about their family, about their future. Because you see, when everybody stops caring, when people have this don't care attitude, then that will mean that they will never ever speak up on anything. Like they will just see something happening and they just let it go. So if you look at 2026 specifically, more and more people are speaking up. So there is one message that is being sent to the leadership of Trinidad and Tobago, and those are very powerful messages. And that, the leaders of Trinidad and Tobago, the people, the Trinidadians are telling you that leadership is not just about standing in a podium and speaking. Leadership is also about listening to your people, listening to the people that elected you. Leadership is about understanding the struggles of ordinary people. Leadership is about standing with the citizens in whatever happens, and leadership is being with the people, not being above them. Not, you're not supposed to be separated from them, but be with them. So that is very, very important message that really needs to be instilled in the brains and, of these particular leaders. And also, there is something that is very important that we also need to talk about, and that is the power of unity. There is one English saying that tells us that unity is strength. The moment we are divided, then there is nothing we are doing at all. So if there is something that really, really stands out, you see, people come out and we have these different, voices from this particular people. We have different people from different background, people with different opinions. But if you look at the center of all this, all of them are from one beautiful island, that is the one and only Twin Island, Trinidad and Tobago. Because you see, at the end of the day, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, ordinary people of Trinidad and Tobago, they share the same streets, they share the same island, they share the same future, they share the same market. I mean, they share the same river, everything. So if they decide to divide, then they're not going to solve anything. But unity will indeed solve a lot of problems, because in that case, it will mean that everybody is willing to come out and offer a suggestion, offer help, and just to get to know, like, how are we going to sort out this issue. The younger generation also is very concerned. They are watching keenly from their leaders, and they are paying really attention. They are paying attention on what is happening, and of course, they are wondering, like, what kind of a country are our leaders building? Because for them, they have gone to school, they have already they're done with their studies, and they are wondering, like, what is really happening in Trinidad and Tobago. Because you see, for them, they want opportunities, they want hope, they want to believe that their future is worth fighting. And you see, when you give them all this, nobody in the Caribbean, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, will have any dream of going abroad. You see, recently there was a research that was, or a report that was released to the public, and guess what? In the next 3 years, like, over 50% of young Jamaicans want to go abroad. So you see, those, if we really talk about, and if the young people get to have these opportunities, get to believe in that hope, and and believe that their future is worth fighting for, then they will never dream of going abroad. They'll stay back and build their country and live good. So it's very important. Peace is something that is very, very important. At the end of the day, a very strong democracy always depends on the good citizens having a voice, and a voice that is being listened to, not being judged. And you see, most of these people, they have the right to express their concerns. They have the right to demand for better future, better everything, better hospitals, better schools, better roads. But then the strength of a movement is also measured by how it carries itself, and the message becomes stronger through peace, also through unity and through respect. And yeah, I've seen peaceful protests happening in Trinidad and Tobago. And I want you to imagine yourself standing in a crowd, and then you're looking around and you realize that you're not alone, that there are thousands of others that feel the same frustrations as you. And then there are thousands of others that want to change, thousands of others that want their country to move forward. I mean, you just being there and trying to imagine all that, that moment only creates like some sort of power. That moment creates some sort of movement, and there is something that will happen later on. So now what we need to ask ourselves is if the voices of the good old people of Trinidad and Tobago will be heard, and will their leaders really respond to their questions, to their build up emotions, and will there be meaningful conversation later on, because many of them are really watching closely to see if all this will happen, if the leaders will respond. And for them, they just want actions. They don't want promises. They are tired with promises. So Trinidad and Tobago is a beautiful nation that is built on our strength. It's a nation that has been built on our resilience. It's a nation that has been built by people who have faced challenges before. And the good people of Trinidad and Tobago are speaking loudly, and they're speaking in the streets, just everywhere. And this message is very clear. The citizens want to be listened to, they want to be respected, and they want someone that can stand with them, because the future of Trinidad and Tobago belongs to everybody, not just a few people in Trinidad and Tobago. All in all, the good people of Trinidad and Tobago are saying enough is enough. So I don't know what you think about this particular clip or commentary. I want you to comment down below. What's your opinion on this? What do you think? Share your comments down below. We really need to know, Thank you so much, my good people. If you watched the clip or the video up to this point, especially if you started from the beginning, thank you. I'll see you in the next video.